Page 21, this is number 3 at the top of the page. In this reading exercise, you're playing block chords. We get this a lot. They don't work well on piano. It doesn't really sound all that wonderful. It works better on an organ or some instrument that can sustain the notes better. Piano's very percussive. But it gives us a chance to play block chords, a lot of them. So I'll look it over. It's 2 lines long, treble, bass, clef, 1 flat in the key signature, so it's either an F major or D minor. If I look at the end, that last chord, that's an F chord. I guess we're an F major. And I don't know if you're doing scales or not, but if you are, be doing those scales and arpeggios. Common timer 4/4 time. Now both hands are playing, and the fingering can get tricky in block chords because it's hard to connect them. I like to connect things, and block chords, they don't work very well. So let's see what we can do. Right hand first, you're here. Don't forget the B flat, it's in the key signature. And it's 1, and then just bring the thumb down. Now I'm going to move, and I'm going to use the thumb as my pivot, and I'm going to come across here, and it's 2/5. This way I can feel my way around the keyboard. I'm not lifting up and moving here. I'm anchoring, and I'm coming here. Now at the end of the line, to go to the next line, measure 5, I have to lift up and come back up because I'm going to do it again. Now in measure 6, now I want to do a 2/5. You can connect that, or you can lift up. See, this is a repeated note. I can change fingers on repeated notes, and that's what I'm doing. But here, and then bring the thumb down. So we're sort of in that position. And that's the right hand. Not too painful, I hope. What's the left hand doing? You're starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I want you to come down here. 2/5, because I'm saving the thumb for that here. So the tricky one here is going from here in the 3rd measure to here. Another fingering you can try here. I don't know how big your hands are, fat your fingers are, or whatever. But in the 2nd measure, rather than staying here, I can prepare for measure 3. I can come down here and use a 3/1 for the F. Here for measure 2. That way when I go to the next measure, I'm going to do a 2/1. I'm almost there. And then I'm there. And that way I'm not moving around so much. I can actually feel my way around here. So the first line, here and here. Problem with this is you have to fit up in here. So if your finger's too fat to fit there, that doesn't work very well. So another finger you can try if that doesn't work is in the 2nd measure, rather than here, do a 4/1. Now you can do a 3/2 for that one. And now you can come down with a, if you want. So there are options, fingerings. There's no right or wrong fingering here. It's what is the most convenient to give you the best results. And we're all different, so who knows. Now measure 5, the same thing. The same fingering here that you did on the first line. So you can finger both lines pretty much the same in the left hand. Then we attempt to put it together because we want to see which fingers are working together. So we're here, then here, and then here, then here. So the problem is I'm moving both hands, but if I do this, I'm not really moving. Moving both hands. Let's talk about that. You're moving both hands. Here we're going the same direction. It's not quite as bad. It gets trickier when you go in opposite directions. But the idea is you know where you are, you know where you need to be and which fingers are involved, and you simply practice that over and over and over until you can just lift up and move. It's like taking a breath and get all 4 notes correct. So that's why in piano I prefer to move one hand at a time if I can, but we can't always, we can't here. So you're just going to have to practice here to here. Now if it would help, we adjust the fingering a little more. So whenever you pick a fingering, it's not set in stone. You may need to change it based on other things, speed or dynamics or something, you may need to change it. Well, when I go from measure 4 to 5 to here, I don't want to move both hands. Well, okay, we'll figure out another solution. So what I'm going to do is, in measure 5, instead of doing here, the first note, since I'm here, I'm just going to play the first note with 3 and 5. The repeated notes, I can change hand positions on repeated notes. So I can go here to here. If I do that, I'm changing one hand at a time. So I'm here, then I'm going here, I'm changing this. This just come up a little bit. Now I'm changing the right hand. So start on measure 3, we're here. Then I'll come up here. And I change one hand at a time. It is good practice, though, to learn to change or move both hands at the same time. So I would encourage you in this little exercise, go ahead and see if you can't get both hands to move together. Just know that there are other solutions where you may be able to figure out a different finger that allows you to move one hand at a time. It depends on the situation, how fast it goes, how difficult it is, and all that stuff. Then once I have that down, I think about the articulation. They don't give you any. Oh, good, it takes care of that. That means you do anything you want. I'm playing staccato if I want. If I do staccato, I got lots of time to move around. I could connect them. I could put in the phrasing. I think there's sort of either 2 measure phrases or 4 measure phrases. Probably 4 measure phrases. So at the end of the first line, I lift up. I can't really tell because they're repeated notes and they're block chords and you're lifting up anyway. Then the dynamics. MF is going to apply to the melody, which is... Everything else should be in the background. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. But maybe you can play the right hand louder than the left. If you can do that, play the right hand louder than the left. If you can't do that, whatever, just play it. I tend to want to shake the phrases. So I get a little softer than the first. Come down. I come down at the end. It's like coming down at the end of a sentence. Come down at the end of it. You shape the phrase, and then you take off again. And at the end, I can come down again. You get a little softer. It's interpretation. Nothing in the music tells you to, except the music itself. If you're feeling it, it's sort of telling you to. Now we add pedal on this. A lot of times in piano we have to add pedal when we play block chords because we can't connect the chords. So if you want to connect the chords, you got to play pedal. But we have to be careful because it can mess things up. So we're not just wildly pedaling whatever. It's going to be lag pedal. Notes first, then the pedal. I want to start the sound before I release the overtones. And I'm going to change the pedal with the harmony. When the chord changes, and it's after it overlaps. This helps you to move in the hands because now you got a little more time to move your hands because the pedal is holding the sound out. Now, if you would like to hear the phrasing, then I need a little silence at the end of the first line. Here, like taking a breath. Well, if I'm going to do that, the pedal has to come up with the hands on measure 4 here, and then I put it down after I play the first note in measure 5. That way I get a little silence. I forgot the speed. Andante is just a general light feel. 1, 2, whatever. Don't copy me. You get into it. Feel the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 throughout. You can experiment with the dynamics. Maybe you want to get a little louder and softer. I can go. soft. See, I gotta, who knows? Let's experiment with the dynamics. Get in and feel the music. How many different ways can you feel this simple little chord progression here? Let's play it together very slowly. I'm not going to do any dynamics to speak of. I'll play both hands about the same. I'm not going to pedal it because you can hear the notes pretty, I think, better without the pedal. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's play it slowly together. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, off.